Good day, guys. Welcome. Today we're going to discuss some altconnect, and I'm going to do some unusual ones. Well, okay, the first one is not unusual, as it's Zilliqa. We have had some nice stuff on social media earlier today. That's why I wanted to discuss this one. We also have some other altcoins I want to discuss. And yeah, let's get through the charts, as we are still having a nice environment for altcoins to play around. If there is some weird stuff going on in this video, it means that my neighbor is drilling again. I don't have the time to do it some more today, so I'll just do it one cut as usual, and I hope they won't be drilling in between. So, let's discuss Zilliqa. Zilliqa has futures that's been listed today, or that went live today, and essentially everybody was expecting the exact same to happen on Zilliqa as on Theta. And that's something I'm witnessing more often recently, is that when X happens, X has to happen again. But you should realize that if you are assuming that something happens once, and you're stating that it's normal, so it has to happen every time from there, you're using a sample size of 1 through which it's very insignificant and just less likely that it's going to occur the exact same time again. The same occurrence is there with the COVID-19 crash. We have witnessed it once, and we have not witnessed it in the past 100 years. So if you're assuming that we're going to see the exact same thing happen if there is a second wave, in the same frequency as panic we've witnessed back then, and in the same liquidity issues through which gold, silver, and Bitcoin crashed, then you're using a sample size of 1, which is just a very short, slow, low sample size to do any statistical research on. So, assuming that once one thing happens and you're stating that that's the normal from now and the neutral part and hypothesis H0, is just the wrong way of assuming that things have to happen. Essentially, given that Zilliqa and Theta have two completely different charts and organic movements. In between, we've seen Algo being listed on the futures exchange, which is completely different chart and just something else. So I won't be assuming that because X happened, X has to happen again. So that's what I wanted to say before I wanted to chart Zilliqa. We have witnessed a nice 400% move on Zilliqa as it broke a 1-year accumulation range, as we have discussed here. Essentially, the trend is still up. As you can see, we are just flipping levels. We flipped the range for support. We flipped this level here for support. We have flipped the previous resistance at 150 for support and continued. We have done the exact same thing here with 200. And right now we have rejected at the next resistance area, which is between these two zones, which is 290 sets to 320 sets. And right now the crucial area to hold is the 230 level. And as long as we hold this level, we can just continue to range in this range area. And the more often that either of the two supports or resistance gets tapped, the more likely it becomes that there's going to be a breakout. And once it breaks above here or below here, the next impulse wave starts. So it's likely to expect some more consolidation. And personally, large time frames, I'm assuming that it's more likely to have a retracement with or without another move in resistance. I don't know. But after such a heavy move, it's more likely to have a multi-month corrective move before the next impulse wave towards 640 or like 500 or maybe like 6 cents starts. So daily time frame, we are still on an uptrend, however shaky. We have to hold the green zone. If we do, we can maybe push again towards the resistance zone here. If you look for scalp entries, I've pointed at this level earlier on already, and we're getting there right now. So I guess this is the one that you want to have, but everything in this rally or in this range is just low sizing. Essentially, we're still above the 100-day and 200-day MA on the daily. And as you can see, we've got a nice OB. Right now we are tapping below this support, and a reclaim of support might invite us to tap above this high and take the liquidity there. There are some hurdles in between, in which if you want to take the entry and we reflip this level for support, 263, 280 and probably 310 are the TPs you can have. If we zoom back out again, you can see that if we get another rally to the upwards move, we might get bearish divergence, in which this whole rally has a weaker volume. These are signals that we might have a longer retracement. But all in all, if we get a larger retracement on Zilliqa, I'll be definitely buying the dip, as I think it's one of the best fundamental projects out there. So I thought let's do Zilliqa today on the BTC chart. Let's do Zilliqa on the USD chart, which is also in an OB that has to hold. But larger time frame, as you can see, we are back inside a range in which the range highs are 2.5 and 3 cents. And the massive support area is found at 1.4 to 1.56. Then next, DRAP. Has been moving heavily. I've been discussing this one previously on the live streams. If you have followed it, it's still following the trend. This level is not tested, so if we lose this uptrend and make something like this, it seems likely that we're going there. Right now there's no confirmation that we do, but as you can see, some momentum, some hype on social media. Flip the level here for support, flip this OB for support, still on higher low. Essentially the same occurred with this previous high, which flipped support here. Constantly you see bearish divergence, but the only bearish divergence is valid if we break below the previous high. So when we would have a move like this, this is your confirmation. In this case, we're just grinding to the upwards movements, and we flip this level. Right now you don't really want to see it drop below this high here. This is your entry zone if you want to see continuation. If we lose 46, 47, I'm just assuming that we're going to get a further drop down. Tricky part is that we have a high volume move here, which might say that we have a sell pressure. At the highs right now, might consolidate for a little bit. Pretty old chart, I mean. But if we hold 47 and continue to rally, it's bye-bye, swai. But overall, I would not be too much interested in this one, in this rally anymore. Like, it's all just scalp trades. It's a low set, which means you can't really place a stop loss on this pair. And I think when the FOMO gets onto a level that it has to retrace at some point. So I'll be watching for a scalp entry in this zone. But definitely, if we drop below the previous high, I'm not entirely interested in having this one. But this is just an example of an uptrend. Then we got Origin, massive move up. Why is it moving up in such a spiky way, as you see? This occurs given that you see thin order books, empty order books, and then it just expands to the upside. And there's no real opportunity to get back in. Resistance zone, not an entry right now. Best entry zone is this area here. Might not get it. And then if we might not get it, we might get the 3200 level, which is basically at trigger point 1 for a scalp entry like we have had here. But overall, I would not be taking this trade. I would just DP, as it's just close to 2x actually today. And just congrats on the move if you're a trader. If you're an investor, you definitely have a different approach. But I think it's in resistance zone right now, and I don't believe we're going to break through it in one go. So 32 and this zone are entry zones. Final coin I want to discuss is WRX. If OGN moves, this one usually moves as well. But as there's no clear entry right now, this might be an entry. 13200, but preferably the reclaim of 1400 can trigger entry towards most likely 1850 to 2k sets. So if we lose this, then yeah, bye bye. But if we reclaim this level, then we've got some interesting movements as well. Finally, and then we are through this short video, is Troy. I have been discussing it on social media. Also acting above the 100 MA right now. I've stated that we wanted to see some more consolidation and then we can see continuation. We have been tapping the resistance sometimes here, and now we are breaking through. If you get this daily as a breakthrough here, I'm assuming that we're continuing, and then the next resistance is around 55.60, which is a bit this chart is similar to many IEOs, to be honest. Just a breakthrough above the 100-day MA, flipping the previous resistance for support, consolidation, flaggy structure, and now breaking through, in which the next resistance is at like 55.60. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And there's the drilling. I'll see you tomorrow for a new video, and I hope I can make a more educational video tomorrow. Cheers!